The site reopened one day later after GOP lawmakers helped a group of veterans to open up those barricades and complete the trip that they had come so far to do. Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill says that the Republicans are just using American veterans to score political points. Here she is on that.
It's a little confusing as how many people are here who don't have veterans from their states. I'm not sure why they're here other than to try to play politics on the backs of veterans, which I think is bad manners.
Wow, that's a pretty strong charge. Texas Congressman Louie Ghomert is one of those Republicans who was meeting with veterans at the memorial site this week, and he joins me now with his reaction. Congressman, welcome. Good to have you here.
You're welcome. No, thank you for having me.
So she's accused you for the time that you spent down there of playing politics, sir.
Yeah, and my heart breaks for somebody with the ignorance of Claire McCaskill. Having served in the Army, active duty 78 to 82, having been spit at in uniform, having been ordered not to wear my uniform off post because of the threats to people in uniform. I understand. I've stood with families when there was no camera anywhere inside, anywhere, with just a handful of people. I have wept with so many military families who have lost loved ones and will continue to do that. She sees veterans and thinks politics. Some of us see veterans and our heart breaks and rejoices for the sacrifice they were willing to make. I didn't know whether there would be a camera there when we went, but Steve Palazzo said we got veterans coming from World War II, and they're not going to let them go down the sidewalk into their memorial. Well, a bunch of us came running. I didn't know if a camera would be there. I didn't care. But I knew there would be World War II veterans who had served their country so patriotically. We were going to be there to do whatever we could for them. And you get an indication as to who's playing what here when you see Reed being asked, well, what about, wouldn't you want to save one child from cancer? Well, why would he want to do that? It's because she, he, the president, others are thinking politics over this. You got this yesterday from the commander-in-chief himself when you reflect historically on one of the greatest speeches ever given by Franklin Roosevelt when he said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Yesterday, you had the President of the United States go on a business interview on television, and he was told, gee, you know, Wall Street is taking this pretty calmly, and he says, it's time to panic. They should be concerned, basically trying to scare the market, trying to bring down people's savings and the value. It is outrageous. Who's playing politics with this? I will go anywhere, anytime a veteran needs me, and I can get there to help. And I've done it my whole life. It's who I am. I'm just sorry Claire McCaskill doesn't have enough knowledge about the patriotism that lies in some of us, that she could see veterans and want to help rather than think in politics.
Well, Congressman, obviously, you rightfully feel strongly about it, and I say rightfully because you served yourself, and we thank you for that, obviously.
Well, I never saw combat, and when I see people like these veterans, and to have them talk and weep about those who they wish were there with them.
Let me ask
I'm
you
going
this,
to do
Congressman.
everything I can to see that these veterans continue to get in over the next few weeks.
I understand. At what level are these decisions made? Because, you know, we were told this morning by a Democratic consultant, you know, this is just the way it is. When the government shuts down, you're going to have these terrible ramifications, like what we saw at the memorial. Who decides what gets shut down and what stays open?
Well, that's a great question, Martha. Great, because I thought, well, maybe some stupid bureaucrat in a cubicle made this decision not realizing that it stays open 24/7. I've been out there all the hours of the days and nights, and when I haven't seen anybody in the World War II memorial who was associated with the government in uniform. And so somebody, we know that it was somebody in the administration, somebody in the White House had to give their okay for the second day. The first day could have been a stupid bureaucrat, but the second day, after it made national news, it had to be very clear somebody was doing it. And Martha, look, you know, over here at Mount Vernon, it doesn't even take federal funds, but there was a little turnaround for buses, and they blocked that off to create as much havoc. They didn't need a federal office out there. The Moore Farm hadn't taken federal funds since 1980, and they go out there and ran off the Chamber of Commerce from McLean, and they hadn't even used federal funds since 1980.
It is very surprising that these places that are literally open air, so it takes an effort and an expense, actually, to bring over barricades and to bring over some guards to close them off. It's mind-boggling,
actually. At Moore
actually.
Farm in Virginia, they rented the barricades to close down a facility that doesn't even take federal funds. Somebody is intentionally trying to create harm, and now the president's trying to stir up fear.
Congressman,
it's very unbecoming.
Thank you very much for being with us today, Congressman. We will see you soon.
Martha.
That man's on fire.
He was very upset.
So what do you think at home?